Well, we are in for a treat today. We are spotlighting our choir, the Villa Voices. We're probably the only independent living facility that has a real choir. We have a lovely chapel, and we have Vespers every Thursday at 3:30, and the choir sings an anthem. And I've had residents tell me that they come to Vespers just to hear the choir. And as you know, our Vespers is non-denominational. So we have ministers from every church. We've had rabbis and priests and everything in between. And they're all amazed about our choir. And many of them have said, we don't have a choir that good at our church. So we are just blessed with a magnificent choir. And there's a reason for that. In fact, there's two reasons for that. And one is Ginger Howell, our director, and the other is Wes Howell, our accompanist. They are a dream team. And so today we get to ask Ginger some questions about the choir. Ginger, who makes up the choir? Like, who are they and how many and that sort of thing?
Well, they're residents and also staff people, and the choir's made up of anyone who wants to be part of the choir.
All are welcome, huh?
All are welcome. There's no tryouts.
Men and women.
Men and women, every denomination and every ilk.
And some from assisted living?
Oh yes, we have some from assisted living that come, and that we're delighted to have. Just anybody who wants to be part of the choir is welcome to do that.
So they just contact you if somebody's out there that wants to be in the choir. Just contact
Yes,
them.
and I'll contact them if somebody tells me they're interested.
We'll rat them out. Does it cost money? Do they have to buy something?
Oh no, it doesn't cost money. We have some very generous residents who have taken care of some major expenses, like the choir robes that we have that are relatively new, and other things. The Religious Life Committee will fund the purchase of music and supplies for the choir. We also have residents that sometimes give a donation specifically to the choir to buy an anthem in memory or in honor of someone. Families do that, or residents, and so we are well supplied with everything we need.
So how much time would one spend a week, say, as a choir member?
The choir members spend an hour on Wednesday from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the chapel rehearsing. On Thursday, the choir meets at 3 so that we have time to warm up and go through the hymns and our anthem again for the service that begins at 3:30, and they sing for that. So they're giving, as a volunteer, about 2.5 hours a week to the choir, and I spend several more hours choosing music that fits the church year, that is interesting and diverse and often challenging.
And you have to position their chairs or where they sit?
I decide where they're going to sit. I keep their folders up.
Right.
Just stuff like that.
Well, did you formally train to do this, to direct choir?
I did.
Well, tell me about it.
Well, when I was in high school, I felt called to the ministry. But in the 1950s in Oklahoma, there was no model for that, and nobody had in their mind that a woman could do that. So I thought, well, shucks, it's too bad I'm a girl. I can't do anything about that. So two things have affected my choice of music when I went off to college. One was I grew up in a church with a really fine director of music, and I sang in her choirs from the age 5 till I went off to college. When I was a senior in high school, the first week of school, the principal called me in and said, our vocal music teacher has had health problems, may or may not be able to come back. If we change your schedule just a little bit, you can direct the 2 big choirs that we have. And I did that the entire year because he was never able to come back. So when I went off to college, it wasn't because I had a whole lot of musical talent, which I don't. It was because of the influences of my church choir director and the experience I had directing the high school choirs. Then my first church job came the very day.
That was your career.
That was going to be my career. When I graduated from college, we got married, and on the same day, I became the director of music at a Methodist church where Wes was already the organist. After working several years in various United Methodist churches as a choir director and thinking I didn't answer that call, the United Methodist Church came up with the order of deacons in order to ordain people to the ministry in special areas of ministry. And I was in the first class to be ordained, and it was then that I realized that I was in ministry, and I had been all these years, and I still am.
Well, how did you find Wes?
Well, when I went off to school, I went to OSU, and I wanted to sing in the college choir at the student center, the Methodist Student Center, and the director had a picnic in her backyard to start the year. And I went to the picnic, and this shy, skinny guy comes over, and he says, "I'm taking up 25 cents for the hot dogs." And that was Wes, and that's how I met him.
And he was in training.
He was a year ahead of me.
And he trained for choir director as well.
Well, we both got music degrees. Mm-hmm. And he did high school. He taught music at every level. And then his master's degree was in counseling and guidance. So, I had to go to some seminary in order to meet the requirements for the ordination as deacon, and I did that and got a master's degree.
Was he always able to accompany you?
No, we sometimes worked in different churches, but we always had church jobs, and most of the time we're fortunate enough to be in the same church and work together. And when he did music at school all day, he was real glad to sit down at the piano and play whatever I said we were going to sing. But he didn't want to be in charge. He could have directed, but he did that all day. And
been there, done that.
Been there, done that.
Well, how does being in the choir benefit a person? How do you feel?
Oh, so many ways. It's so good for people to sing together, especially old people. When a group of people come together twice a week for a common purpose that requires everybody's participation equally, a community forms. And those people who may be very diverse in their theological ideas or their political ideas or their family situations become a community. And they get to know each other, and they like each other, and they work together. And that is very, very good for old people. Science has shown in recent years that when we talk, one side of our brain lights up. When we sing, both sides, the whole brain, the analytical side and the creative side. It's very good, especially for old people, to keep singing. And the people in the choir who have sung in choirs all their lives, and then they move here and they think, boy, I sure miss choir, don't have to say, I sure miss choir. They can come and they can sing. And the third thing that I'll mention that's good about being in choir is joy. Everybody needs some joy. And when we sing together, there is joy every week. And you can ask anybody in the choir if that is true.
They won't miss it. They won't miss it. Well, Ginger, thank you so much for sharing with us today.
You're
I
welcome.
hate to take your time, but it sure was fun.
Well, it sure was fun. And come and sing.
Yeah.
Christmas.